We should, it's 8:20.
Does it make alive?
I was just going to say, I won't stay for the whole meeting, I'll just be doing my report. So if there's anything else you need to ask me.
Obviously you had so much fun last time at the annual meeting. You're disappointed.
Well, I've been out since 6:30, so I do need to get back at some point. Shall we?
Have we started, Chris?
We're live.
We're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the monthly meeting. So let's go straight in. Apologies and reasons for absence.
We have apologies from Leslie Brazel, Dan Gray, Janine Turner and Jonathan Gray.
Thank you. And declarations of interests, any received?
No.
And no, any written requests for new disclosing pecuniary interest dispensations?
Nothing to do with that. Can we remind people that this is being live streamed?
Yes, apologies. Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, everybody, as a gentle reminder, this is being live streamed. Everyone okay?
Just the councillors.
Point 37, to appoint councillors to working groups and allocate individual portfolio responsibilities. I believe we've received...
I believe that everything is remaining as it was.
Yes.
So we can just confirm that.
Okay, great, and thank you very much to everybody for putting themselves forward again and continuing the good work. Next section is the open section meeting, where members of the public are invited to ask questions, maximum of 3 minutes, a total period of 15 minutes. Does any member of the public present have any questions that they want to raise? No? Okay, thank you very much. Next item, agenda item is 39, which is approval of various minutes that we've had over the last few weeks. So, meeting of the 26th of March, extraordinary meeting.
I still don't think we can approve that, can we? Because there was only you and Leslie and Janine at that. So I think that's going to have to carry over again.
Okay.
Unless we can do something.
And just as a reminder, this meeting that we had at the end was to make a payment in regard to the street lighting, which we have actually done. So let's sign that when the appropriate people are all in attendance then. Yeah. Okay. Next one, the meeting on the 13th of May, which was the most recent.
That's the ordinary meeting.
Okay, I will do those if everyone agrees at the end of the meeting, unless there's anybody who's got any...
Well, I wasn't here, so...
You weren't here?
We need to propose second the night.
Okay.
And accept.
So we're not for it for that.
There was myself, Chris, Dan,
Oh, we are.
Claire, Janine, so we can.
Yeah, you and
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
propose in
is-
second.
Yeah,
Okay, proposer,
so I'll propose that.
thank you Chris. Seconded by Claire. All agreed. And I'll sign those at the end of the meeting, if that's okay, rather than just to save a little bit of time. And finally, another extraordinary meeting on the 28th of May. So a busy few weeks,
We
but I
have the
don't think
minutes
we
for
have the
that.
minutes
No,
available
Leslie
yet.
was due to do those, I haven't got them yet.
Okay, so they're
So we
pending the minutes
So
from Leslie. the
Carry
chair.
them forward.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, excuse me 1 second, is the report from Huntingdonshire District Council.
That's not me, that's
Which
Jonathan.
is Jonathan, and do we have a report from
No,
Jonathan?
he's not prepared a written report, but he has said that he's been appointed to the Corporate Governance Committee and the Development and Management Committee that should help him with planning, dealing with planning officers. So that's the only news that we have from him.
Yeah, well, that's all they're really doing at the moment, is deciding who's on what committees and what panels you're on. So.
Great. Item 41, Ian. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, it looks now that the government may announce its proposal for LGR in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough on the 13th of July. So we just have to wait and see now whether that is actually the case. If they do, then it's likely that the elections for the new unitary authorities will be next May, with the new local government structure for the unitary authority coming into effect from the 1st of April 2028. Now, I think at the last council meeting I did state that I thought the B645 outside Kimbolton Principal would be closed for 1 week. It's not 1 week, it's 7 weeks, and it starts from the 20th of July, not the 13th, because they moved it back 1 week because of the Kimbolton Country Fair. So, just to let you know that, the whole culvert has got to be rebuilt because it is so severely, much more severely damaged than originally thought. The closure is to minimise the impact on the school and to hopefully try and get all the work completed before we get heavy rain in the autumn that might allow, cause the job to be delayed even further. So the designated diversion route is through Catworth. So it's when you're coming from Kimbolton, you come up the B660 all the way through Catworth, join the A14, go along the A14 to Keyston, come off and go take the B663 all the way through Rawns to Chelveston and then back along the B645 to Tilbrook. That is the designated diversion route. I know local residents that know the area will tend to use their own cut-through routes. So I'm going to try and see if I'm meeting the area highways maintenance manager tomorrow to try and get the passing bays on the Tilbrook Range road that comes, then going through to Covington and then is to get all those passing bays upgraded with planings so that at least people have got the opportunity to pass prior to the start of the...
Could I suggest that we also request they fill the potholes in? Because last time we went down that road there were 3 cars with flat tyres on the side of the road at the same time.
They have been, because I've marked them myself, they have been filled as far as I understand it. So that they should have all been filled, as I understand it from Tilbrook Parish. They tell me they have been. So, but I will check that they have been, and we will get the passing bays sorted with regard to that. The new highways officer, Stephen Bunker, has now started, so I'm meeting him tomorrow. I will meet the area highways manager also tomorrow, and then once after that meeting I'll then arrange a sort of monthly 6-weekly meeting with Stephen with regard so that I can bring up any highways issues with him in the division. We now have a new Executive Director of Place and Sustainability at the County Council, which includes highways, and that's Graham Kane. County Council, along with the Mayoral Combined Authority and Peterborough City, are offering free cycle training. So from this month you can choose to have a one-to-one session, small groups or family sessions. Everything is tailored to your ability and what you want to learn. The training is for you. If you haven't cycled before, feel nervous about cycling, want extra support to build confidence, will benefit from accessible and inclusive sessions. Sessions are free. The County Council will provide you with a bicycle if you don't have one, or you can bring your own. Most sessions will take place in a traffic-free environment on tarmac areas about the size of a tennis court. If you're ready to cycle on local roads, then the trainers will support you to do so safely. The training locally will be done at the Grapham Water Centre. So if you want to book a session, then you can go on to the following website, which I won't bother to read out, but I'll let you have, Victoria, but I've got a poster there for you to put up on the village notice board about family cycle training, or you can go on the activetravel@cambridgeshire.gov email if you want more information. This year's summer holiday activities and food programme, HAF, will be operating from the 21st of July to the 28th of August for eligible local families. Children are eligible for the scheme if they receive benefits related to free school meals or where families are experiencing financial hardship. Children will be able to access 64 hours at a HAF holiday scheme where a daily meal, physical exercise and enriching experiences will be provided. If you want more details or want to apply, then you can go on to www.cambridgeshire.gov.uk/HAF. And again, I've got another poster
I
there.
think I might have one of those in the notice board already. I've done
Yeah.
that one already, yeah.
Have you got that
I
one?
haven't got that one now.
No. I'll give you both. So
Do we have these electronically somewhere?
I have got them electronic. I can send them on electronic if that makes life easier. But, so that's all I really have to say at this stage. I will chase them up as to why they haven't filled the pothole on High Street at this end, because that's been marked up for well over a month, 6 weeks now. So I don't understand why that hasn't been done. So as I'm seeing the officer tomorrow, I will chase that.
Ian, I didn't quite catch what you said will be out of action for 7 weeks.
The B645, the road will be closed outside the Kimbolton Prep School to allow the rebuilding of the culvert that runs under the road.
So you won't be able to go through Kimbolton at all, that house?
You won't be able, when you come down the road from Catworth, you'll be able to turn left and go into Kimbolton, that's fine. But you won't be able to turn, well, you can turn right, but you won't get any further than the prep school.
Right, so you won't be able to go on to Stowley or St Neots for that type of journey?
Yeah, you would be able to go that way because you can go, it's the
opposite
opposite
towards
direction.
Raunds.
So you won't be able to go, when you come down the Catworth Road and get into Kimbolton, you won't be able to turn right and head towards Tilbrook, Covington that way.
Gotcha. Oh, so if you were going to St Neots, nothing's changed?
Nothing's changed.
Gotcha.
Nothing's changed. It's only if you want to go.
Yes, take your trip to
Towards-
Rawlins that way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
So
what changes.
do we have an official sort of flyer from Highways then that we can then publish?
I think
Does that
I might
usually
have something, in
happen
which case I
each
can
time?
forward that to Victoria.
Yeah,
I
just-
have got a meeting next week with the officer, so I will ask him if he can provide me with a flyer.
Yeah.
If I haven't got one that gives all the correct diversion
That'd be
routes
great,
that
thank
the
you.
local villages could put up.
Lovely, thank
So
you
I
very
can
much.
do that. That's not a problem.
Does anyone have any questions for Ian? Thank you very much, Ian,
That's
for
all
coming
right.
along.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all next month, hopefully.
Great.
God willing.
Thank you very much.
I'll wash my cup up before I go.
We'll do it.
Very good.
Thanks. Cheers, Mel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 42 is Clerk's report. As it says there, nothing to report outside the internal audit prep, which we'll come on to presently. Planning. So the Growth Cluster Working Group. Chris, you circulated the paper.
I did. So there was quite a bit of movement. I won't go into too much detail unless people want that level of detail. But essentially, the group, the Growth Cluster Group, started as Brampton Cross. So it was dealing with a particular industrial development that was proposed for Brampton Cross. It expanded to take in industrial and housing developments around the A141 into Huntingdon and around the northeast and southeastern side, sorry, northwest and southwestern sides. They've decided to expand further their remit to cover Godmanchester and St Ives and all of the housing development that's going on there, and that encompasses around about 31,000 new homes in various settlements. Apologies, I did say in my write-up 9,000 homes at Sapley Green. It's 7,000, that was my error. But I've also attached a map to show councillors the extent of that. So there's an awful lot of development going on. You may argue that it's moving away from Catworth and people on the A14 corridor, but it is going to make traffic on the A14 worse. So I think it's still imperative that we retain our seat at the table without taking on any more responsibility than we have today. So none of the officer roles. They had a big problem with people taking up the officer roles, and that's where the Pause the Plan group, Horton and Whiten, Parish Council, the chair there agreed to take the chair role for 6 months in the expanded size group, but they are rolling, as a consequence of that, they are rolling this Pause the Plan group in because it's got aligned requirements and concerns. Pause the Plan is mainly about housing, but it's also applicable to industrial development. So I think we need, I'm happy, I'm proposing and I'm happy to continue being the liaison with them, just to make sure that any of that Section 106 money that's available doesn't disappear into the developments. It helps people with infrastructure as per the original remit of the Brampton Cross group.
Great, thank you.
Could I suggest, if it's possible, that we attach the map that Chris forwarded as part of the minutes?
I was going to suggest that. And yeah, if you
Yeah.
can change the numbers to the correct number that you referenced about Sapley, and then we can publish it.
So that map has the correct numbers on.
Yes.
I just, when I did the initial post, I didn't have that map,
No.
so I asked for a copy.
No, it's very informative, thank you. Next item is Planning Advisory Group again. Just to note that the Council's comments were submitted on the 14th of May regarding the double garage extension at 63 Station Road, sorry.
Which has now been approved.
And has now been approved. Fantastic, good news. To report any updates on the proposal of 190 residential dwellings in Kimbolton, we put in a comment as council. If
We
I'm not
did.
mistaken. Yeah.
So I went along to Kimbolton's ordinary parish meeting.
Yeah.
And it came up and was pretty much processed as it had previously been processed. So they redoubled their efforts and wrote again to HDC to outline that they still object to the 190 properties on the basis predominantly of scale, size and scale. They didn't ask any other. They acknowledged the fact that Stowlonger and Spaldwick parish councils had also put objections in of their own. And then we wrote our concerns specifically for Catworth and submitted them. So they are in.
Thank you. Any other planning related matters that have been received? I haven't seen any. No.
No, but we've got the ongoing 41 Station Road,
Yes.
which I propose to write a draft for that I'll put out on the email for the clerk to send,
Okay.
asking for information from HDC regarding planning permissions, change of use, or what is the situation. So
Great,
I
thank you,
will
Claire.
go ahead and do that.
Neighbourhood plan. There's no members of the team here apart from me.
Hello,
So, hello. So just change of hats slightly. So as you know, the external consultant has been employed with the ambition by the end of the month that we'll receive a draft. It seems to be going on track at the moment. And then the second point is that this evening, because there's a deadline regarding the call for sites relating to the fruit field opposite the playing fields, for feedback and thoughts on whether people support it or not. The neighbourhood plan team, as a result of their survey, that was one of the 7 call for sites were encompassing in that survey, and that was deemed to be the preferred option out of those sites, given its location and also the density of the proposed housing as well.
I can't remember what the survey said. Was it 20? 15 to 20?
I think, no, you put me on the spot, but I think it was 20 to 25. But
I've got 25 in mind.
Have you? Because that's what HDC have put
Yes.
on the call for sites.
Yeah, so it's in line with the
that's
upper
fine.
limit. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was a slight imbalance there.
No, again, I'm going from memory now, but I think the initial call for sites, it was a little bit higher.
Oh, it was 40 on the original
Yeah,
call for sites,
yeah.
because that's what the algorithm,
Yes,
when they put the
precisely.
acreage in,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what the
what the
algorithm,
figure popped
yes,
out.
allocated.
Yeah.
But I knew that the parish survey was a lot less, but I couldn't
Yes.
remember if it was 15 to 20 or 20 to 25.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to remain in line with what
Yes,
the survey
it-
says.
Yeah.
And any comment that we made should be in line with the survey, not
Absolutely.
the proposal.
Yes. So the deadline for that is midnight tonight, or 23:59 to be precise. So that will be loaded up by a member of the Catworth team.
Thank you very much.
Next topic is point 45, which is finance, just to show the monies that we had at the beginning of May and at the end of May. So we received a small amount of income relating to the recycling credit, and then the payments that are listed there are what we agreed at the last meeting. However, one payment didn't go through for the N-Power, for the street lighting, which went through a couple of days afterwards. I think it actually went out of the bank on maybe the 2nd.
That's the one Dan notified us of.
That's correct,
Yeah.
yeah. And just for clarity, N-Power is not only positively are the bills coming down, but it's beyond direct debit, which will make it more efficient going forward.
A massive difference in the bills. I mean, hundreds of pounds.
We'll come to that later. But
Okay.
yes, there's a significant drop, because you remember that we received at the beginning of April a rebate or a refund, sorry, of about £3,500 for previous overcharging as well.
And that was for only going back a limited time, wasn't it?
12 months, yeah. Next item is 45.2, which is the invoices that we are due to pay. So there's a small table there relating to some expenses of the clerk, ink cartridges, code of conduct training, which we've just had as well for all the councillors and the clerks. So it covers 8 people in total. Hire of the hall, which we're in at the moment, the grass cutting, and then a working at home allowance for April and May for the clerk, which is in line with the government guidelines and is not subject to PAYE and NI. So the total of that is, as you can see, is £703. The insurance renewal was received on the 22nd of May. And that was approved at the extraordinary meeting on the 28th, which is what we referenced earlier, and it has been paid already. So we need a proposer for those payments. Thank you, Ollie. Seconder. Which you can't do, Chris.
No.
Sorry, yes, I'm looking at
Because it
you.
involves
Yes.
Because it involves, obviously,
payment to
the
the
payment to Victoria in her capacity as a clerk
Yeah.
for the working at home allowance. Excuse me, what's that?
And the card.
So Claire, thank you. Yes, and I will then. So all approved. Thank you very much. We need to turn the camera off just for a few moments.
You want us to go home, do you?
No, I don't. But
Could it be easier for us to?
would it be easier for the three of us to leave the room just to approve, which was probably just because we've got to approve the clerk's salary. Okay, we'll go into another room. welcome back, everybody. The approval of the clerk's salary and payments to HMRC in respect of the clerk's PAYE and employee NI and employer NI as noted, and if that we need some people to raise the payments in the bank and then authorise those payments. So just where we are at the moment is that Ollie, you are a person who can set up payments in the bank because the clerk would ordinarily do that, so can't do that. So we are going to ask you if that's okay, if you can do that.
That's fine.
I will then be acting as one signature. However, we don't have another signature at the moment. So can we agree that we will ask the chair to make that payment?
As in be the second signatory.
As in being the second signatory. So, given the fact that Chris, you can't vote on this, can we have a proposer to my proposal that Leslie acts as the second signatory to the
A
bank?
seconder to
Yes.
the proposal.
Yes.
You propose, you
I
second, I'll
propose.
say yes.
Yes.
Good.
Great.
Yes.
Clear. It's a little bit discombobulating, but I think we're just about there. Okay.
Do I need the proposer and seconder for the actual payment that was done in secret?
Yes.
Do it the same. Propose,
Yes.
second,
yes,
yes.
Yes. It wasn't
Unanimous.
secret. It was not in public. Yeah.
It was private
Yes.
and confidential.
Yeah.
from
The
what-
confidential matter.
The confidential matter. Right. Okay. So moving on, we're on 45.5. The SIL funding. So there's an open round of HDC have got some funding window opportunities. So anybody got any comments that they want to share?
So we had a quick chat with Ian before the meeting. I think this is for the benefit of the public. We can get funding from Hunts DC to potentially cover the majority of a community project, but it has to be focused on growth within the community. So any ideas for that we can now submit to Hunts DC. So I think it's generally a request that we publicise the opportunity and get as many suggestions as we can so we consider whether or not they meet the criteria, and we can then make an application if possible. So please spread to friends, family, neighbours, etc. for input.
Can we do something to engage with the community directly? Could we put a notice on the notice board, for example? Well, it will be in the minutes anyway.
Or can we put something on the, I don't know what we've got, a
On
face
face-
chat Insta thing that we can put it on?
Yes.
or-
Yeah, that could be done.
Yeah.
Possibly.
We have a Facebook page.
Facebook page, yes.
Yes, which we can put the clerk's email address on and then invite people to email the clerk
it was
with
the
some
Insta thing.
suggestions.
Oh, that was a joke. Okay.
No,
Sorry.
I don't know what we have and what we don't have.
No, we just only have a Facebook page,
Yes.
is my understanding.
Village Matters might be an appropriate
That's-
vehicle as well, just a short couple of paragraphs, just to
We need to
Here's an opportunity.
put that to
box it.
the chair, the overall chair, not yourself, sir. Because she normally does the Village Matters report, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe the chair is listening in, so
Yes.
Yes.
hopefully we'll be able to talk with her.
Thank
But
you.
it needs to go in the minutes as an action for the chair,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is what I was trying to say.
Great.
Just went round the houses a bit.
Okay, good. Any questions on that? Anybody? No? Next one, 45.6 is street lighting. So we've paid the invoice in respect of the reprogramming. Unfortunately, Councillor Green cannot join us to provide us an update, and we haven't received an update as far as I'm aware. However, can I just comment that I don't think it's working as anticipated. So, Church Road, the lights are turning off, and having audited Station Road, that those lights are still on at night, at 2 o'clock in the morning. The High Street, they're off. So we need to go back to Peacock and clearly understand what the parameters are and why some lights are not working as anticipated.
Is it Dan still dealing with them?
Dan has kindly offered to do that. Yeah.
So like action on Dan
Action
then?
for Dan. Okay. Any questions? Nope. Okay. 45.7 renewal of the SLCC membership. £10 joining fee and annual subscription. I think that's just can I have a proposer that we agree that we will pay that? Thank you, Claire. A seconder. I can't look at you, Chris, for this because you'll still have that. Thank you, Ollie, and all in agreement. Yes, thank you very much, Victoria. If you could arrange for that to be included on the next payment run. Next one is 45.8. Now this is a SIM card. Now you might think, why are we doing this? Well, this is so, and I'll talk from experience with Victoria, it's been quite difficult to get hold of HMRC to correspond, etc. So does anybody want to have any more details on this? But it's a dedicated SIM which would be £4.50 a month. However, there may be another alternative to this when we look at potentially some things that came out of the internal audit recommendations, which were not per se internal audit, but they were recommendations that the internal auditor provided so that we could be more efficient as a council. So can I just say that we pause that one, because we don't need it immediately, is my understanding, unless you...
It's mostly so that there is a phone number out there that is not my personal
That's
number
not-
that
okay.
people can contact.
So it's not...
We're not tied into a contract, are we, for 2 years or whatever on the 450
it's a
SIM?
rolling.
So we
So
could
So this is
just do it
if
for a
they
month.
wanted to phone you
If
as
anyone,
in the
so I
capacity
could,
as clerk, so
yeah,
not exclusively for...
no.
Okay,
And it's
So
that
the-
number that could go on Facebook, for instance, because
Yeah.
it's purely for the clerk. So
okay.
Yeah.
as it's a rolling contract and we're not tying ourselves in for a set number, it's just month by month. I don't see why we shouldn't do it this month.
Okay, yeah.
It's predominantly not even a contact method for the public per se, although that is a positive benefit that we
Mhm.
would encourage. It's to receive two-factor authentications,
Yeah.
codes, and we had, and it is a common problem, and it's similar to somebody else owning your website, somebody else owning the phone number that you have two-factor authentications, and everyone's using them now. HMRC was
Yeah.
predominantly, as you recall, Jeff, was the biggest hurdle we
That
had.
was the starting point. So yes, it's obviously expanded. The need for this is expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's only going to get more and more prevalent, I would argue.
And with it being an eSIM, it's transferable between whoever.
Great,
holds
okay.
it.
It's a council asset,
Yeah.
council-owned
It's
asset.
not mine. Yes.
Which would then also help with the banking as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Once
yeah.
I'm set up.
Okay, so thank you for the update, Chris. I've narrowed it down too much to one particular use. So can I have a proposer? Thank you, Claire. A second. Great. All in agreement. Thank you very much. On the basis of what Claire said and Chris, please, Victoria. Village Matters. So, 45.9. We've received a request from the editor to consider some additional funding opportunities. We've discussed this as a group, and there seems to be an appetite for it to continue because it offers good support for a whole variety of reasons. The difficulty that we're seeing is the transparency and also the fairness of the allocation of who pays what based on what value. Just as a reminder, currently there's an annual cost to the council of £187, which is 170 dwellings at £1.10 per annum. In the past, it was paid, so I'm going back 6 years ago, and the previous 5 years to that, it was paid by the charity, and is now paid by the parish council, out of what we call a Section 137 ability. So it's good that they want to see it continue. However, the running costs are, according to the latest June issue, are £4,000 a year across the 7 villages. So I'm happy to continue to entertain the prospect, but it needs to be a coming together of the chairs of the council, and that we all pay on a proportionate, subject to due diligence of their financial forecasts and what they're actually planning to do with the money as well.
So they're asking for 20 pence per household,
Yeah.
at least
Yes.
20 pence.
Yeah.
We're already paying way above that.
Whereas £1.10, yes.
So we could stick with what we've been giving.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Which has been the same value for many years, actually.
Yes. And
Can
yeah.
I don't know.
We have
We can close
Yes,
the
I
meeting.
propose that we close the meeting.
Thank you.
One second.
Yes, let's close the meeting then, if we can. Thank
My
you.
understanding is that the contribution is £10 per household per month. So that works out. Is it because there are 11 issues per year?
Okay.
So the £1.10 is per year.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And
So 20
they're asking for is it 374 this year, which would be the 20 pence per household. 3 villages have already agreed to the extra 20 pence. Lake Bromswold, Bythorn and Keystone. And we're hoping that the others will as well. So just as for your information.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I wasn't making the designation between per annum and per month. So it's 20 pence per month.
Right, so that's 20. Sorry, can we just reopen? Can we reopen the meeting?
Yeah.
So it's 20 pence
Per household.
Per household per month.
per month
For 11 months.
for 11 months. Okay.
And it was 10 pence per household per month.
Versus the 20, the 10 pence. Right. Thank you very much. Can I propose that we defer that till next month then?
Yes.
Great. Next item is 45.10, which is the village hall defibrillator. So what we have at the moment is there's a defibrillator on the high street, which is the council's, which we pay for, and in April 2025 we as the council paid for the maintenance of the second year of the contract relating to the defibrillator on the village hall, and last month we paid for the third year of that contract. The 2025 payment, there was no minute as to exactly how that arose in terms of what the agreement was. However, it was paid, which again it was paid in 2026. We as council have asked the village hall chair to sign an agreement whereby we would like to acknowledge that we will continue making that payment. However, everything related to the insurance and any other ongoing costs will be covered by the village hall. We have chased for a reply, and a reply has been received, and the agreement has yet to be signed. So that's where we are. Is that today? And Ollie, do you want to?
So I will
just
take
pick
an
up on that
action
point?
to go and speak to Andrew and understand where his concerns are and get to the point where we can put an agreement in place. The communication from Andrew hasn't been specific about what the issues are between his stance and what Victoria has suggested in the agreement sent out.
Yep.
I believe the easiest way of sorting that out is to talk to him about it.
Thank you. And just for clarity, this is to ensure there's no ambiguity regarding who's paying for what. And we've made those payments already, and we're happy to carry on forward, subject to excluding any ambiguity surrounding it.
What I did pick up on was that between the agreement and what Andrew has put in his letter, we're actually putting in the agreement more than he states that we pay for. So he states it's consumables, batteries and pads. That's what they've covered. whereas in the agreement it also says annual service costs.
Yeah, that's a good point. The actual annual service cost, because I spoke to Community Heartbeat, is the term that they use to make sure that there's sufficient pads, etc.
It's
in
the
the unit.
consumables.
It's the
So
consumables.
perhaps the agreement just needs to be amended slightly to...
I'll go and have a chat with Andrea
Yeah.
and find out
Yeah.
whether that's where the sticking point is. I'll report back to council, to Victoria, when I find out.
Yeah, it's just the way it read, that's all.
No, but it was a good point. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the audits. So the clerk and I met with the internal auditor. Do you want to take this point?
I can do.
If you're okay.
Yes. Sorry, I just want to get my paperwork in
No,
order
that's
because we've
fine.
got very important things to sign and approve shortly.
Great.
So I'll be as rapid as I can. I've done a report. I'll try and do the highlights. So the auditor picked up on a few observations and recommendations, mostly nothing big. Impact. There was concern that our standing orders weren't up to date, but having reviewed them, they are up to date, so we don't need to worry about that. On insurance, the auditor recommended that the council should consider whether we need additional cybersecurity and data breach insurance, which we don't currently have. Fixed assets and insurance values, the auditor confirmed that when something has been purchased of which the value is unknown, that recording it as £1 is fine. However, keeping that value at £1 for things such as the War Memorial is not fine, and we need to make sure that our insured values are appropriate for what we're insuring. So we have to review all our insured asset values to ensure that they accurately reflect replacement costs and to get a valuation for the War Memorial if we can.
Which is currently included at £1, and the observation was that historically a lot of other local councils have also included it at £1, but it's not realistic.
No, it's just cost £600 to clean it and
So
Yes.
make it
Yes.
eligible. No, eligible.
So that's something that we need to consider. We should be reviewing declarations of interest annually as part of our annual parish council meeting. That can be built into the agenda, that's fine. The minutes were found generally satisfactory. There was one set awaiting approval, which is still awaiting approval because we were not quorate, and we're still not quorate. On that, that's fine. Now, the biggest thing to take away from the audit was our data protection arrangements. So they found that we did not have a robust set of documents excuse me, for data protection, and we need to develop them soonest because it means that we're not compliant with current legislation. So that's something that we're going to have to focus on and decide on in this meeting, so that we have an action plan that we can present when we publish the AGAR statements to show that we are taking it seriously. And so we need to have a subject access request register, a freedom of information request log, a data breach log, a record of processing activities, data retention and destruction procedures, and evidence of ongoing data audits and reviews. So I did circulate a record of processing activities that I developed as a starting point, and if you've had a chance to look at that, I'd happily take your feedback so that we can get that all firmed up and see if anyone wants to add anything, let me know. I also circulated something else. Oh yeah, I circulated an action plan. Did I circulate it? Did everyone get that? Action plan for data protection, yeah. So these are the things we need to do, and the timescale which I suggest we ought to do them within. So undertaking a review of all our current data protection arrangements, creating the ROPA, creating policies. If you can all review that and see if you think it's all achievable within those dates.
Has everyone had a chance to look at that and review?
I have.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
I put the responsibility as everyone, myself and the
Mhm.
council. I'm happy to develop most of those documents if everyone else is happy to review them and approve them.
Are we happy to approve that plan now,
That would be very useful if you could.
I propose?
Second.
Just to be clear, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah, no,
Victoria.
please go.
Just to be clear, the internal audit is not necessarily a pass or fail. It's there to show where there's deficiencies and where things change and where there's improvement that can be actioned. So thank you very much, Victoria, for coming up with the action plan and the format for the record of processing activity, the ROPA. And again, just to be clear, for the 2024-5 internal audit, this was not in scope to be tested, which is interesting because data protection has been around for many, many years.
As has GDPR.
Precisely.
Which is where our documents date back to 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So
But
they,
it's been done since then.
so we should have been informed and made aware of this so that we could have done something about it before. But the AGAR which is published, will show a series of ticks, positive ticks and a negative tick with the broad heading, which is slightly misinterpretable. So just so that we're clear, it's not a fail, it's something that we need to action, and you've got this.
It's been very helpful that it's been brought to light. So.
Absolutely, yeah, it's an opportunity to improve.
And it's something that we can act on quite quickly.
Absolutely.
It's just a suite of documents that we need, and then to follow the processes that are in those documents. So I'm not concerned about it.
And the plan is, what is our commitment to take action against
Absolutely.
it? So it
Yes.
feels like we're in a good place.
So,
Thank you, Victoria.
So on 46.2, there's various things, elements that have been circulated and to sign as well.
So to consider and approve section 1, the annual governance statement. So I have pre-filled this, but we need everyone to approve what I've pre-filled, so I'll read the statements out that I have agreed to, and then if everyone checks that they're happy. So we have put in place arrangements for effective financial management during the year and for the preparation of the accounting statements. We maintained an adequate system of internal control, including measures designed to prevent and detect fraud and corruption, and reviewed its effectiveness. We have assured ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance with laws, regulations and proper practices that could have a significant financial effect on the ability of this authority to conduct its business or manage its finances. We provided proper opportunity during the year for the exercise of electors' rights in accordance with the requirements of the Accounts and Audit Regulations. We carried out an assessment of the risks facing this authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and our external insurance cover where required. We maintained throughout the year an adequate and effective system of internal audit of the accounting records and control systems. We took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. We considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurring either during or after the year end have a financial impact on this authority, and where appropriate have included them in the accounting statements. And the final one is, we have put in place arrangements for the effective IT and data management in accordance with proper practices during the year under review, which has been ticked with a no to correspond with what the internal auditor identified.
Which is a broad statement, but narrow in its actual finding.
So we need to approve that, we need to agree that that's all reflects how we've carried out business in 25-26.
How do we make that agreement?
We need to minute it, so we need for someone to propose, second, approve, and then the chair will sign and I will sign.
So would that be me
That will
signing?
be you, the chair of this meeting, yeah.
Right, well, I'm happy to sign it. Yeah.
I'm happy to propose.
Second.
And vote in favour.
Oh, yes.
So we should sign this now, probably.
Now, okay. Excuse me whilst I just sign.
Can you run this?
So you just down on
Pass him a crayon.
that box.
Thank you for your in-meeting feedback, everybody. Let me just get my quill out. Thank you.
That's fine. Perfect. Section 2 is accounting statements, which I'm not going to read all the numbers out, I don't think. Has everybody had a chance to review this that was sent out? This section of the form?
These are the numbers that we agreed with the internal auditor, and they come from the accounts.
Marvellous.
And they,
I
oh,
prepared them, so
Yes.
I'm happy to sign it. Do I have a proposer?
Second.
Second, all in favour? Okay, thank you.
The trust. The trust is amazing.
Thank you, Claire.
To be fair, I did look at the accounts.
Right,
What do you sign that? Do I sign that? I sign it. Sure. Ah, there's a sign by the chair at the bottom.
right, okay. Thank you. We need to insert the minute number though, don't we?
I'll do that
Yeah.
afterwards on a WhatsApp.
Okay. And then that gets published on the website.
It
as
gets
well.
published to the notice board and the website, and it will be published alongside, because we are having to be externally audited this year due to our expenditure being over £25,000. We need to display a notice that gives the public the opportunity to inspect our accounts for 25-26. I am intending, skipping a little bit ahead here, but I am intending on putting that on the notice board on Saturday, with the inspection period being the 15th of June to the 24th of July. It has to be 30 working days, including the first 10 days of July. So those are the dates I propose for the exercise of public rights.
Okay, so just to be clear, on the external audit, it's
Mhm.
because we've breached the limit, which is £25,000 based on income or expenditure. So for 24-25, we didn't breach those limits. We got very close to it, but we didn't breach it. But we exceeded it in 25-26, and that was driven by the factors which we outlined at the previous meeting, which are the salaries, the SIL expenditure, the neighbourhood plan reimbursement of the grant, etc. So those are the key drivers behind it as well.
Thank
We
you.
31,600. So that's the next activity that we'll be working with Mr. John PKF or PKF just John to do the external audit. Okay.
We have got, because I skipped 2 items there,
Yes.
I've got to note the significant variances and the
Yeah.
reserves position, which
Okay.
I believe was circulated. Well, they've
Yes.
definitely got that form.
Yeah. So what happens is, if there's a certain percentage variance from the previous year, we have to comment on that, and that
Yes.
also gets published as well. And there were some significant variances, principally due to the reasons that I explained previously as well. And then the reserves are effectively our cash reserves,
Yes.
which are 11,500 as at the end of April. Okay.
And I think that is us on the audit side of things for now.
Okay, great. Section 47, approval of parish council policies. So we need to do an annual review of our policies, which, given all of the efforts that we've made since joining effectively last July, should be just making sure that they are up to date and just issuing another version. So if we go to 47.2, well, actually, let's do 47.2 and 47.3 in the same comment. It was recorded incorrectly in some October minutes, so we will just make those amendments accordingly. Note those amendments. 47.4, there's a pending grants and donations policy which is currently being worked on, which can be deferred again until we receive an update. 47.5, the data protection elements, which Victoria has clearly explained and that we've got an action plan for. And then 47.6 is the privacy statement.
So has the agreement to Victoria's plan sorted 47.5?
Yes,
Yeah.
it has. Yeah, it's covered earlier. Sorry, Ollie. Thank you. Yeah. 47.6 privacy statement. To consider whether the privacy statement on the website should be updated to align with the general privacy notice.
So this was something that was identified when I was looking into data protection and such, that what appears on the website does not necessarily reflect what we have as a general privacy notice now.
Okay.
What I would suggest is having a truncated version of our larger document on the website, a link to the full document.
Okay.
So we would change that page on the website, and I'm happy to do that.
Sounds sensible.
Yep.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Proposed.
Seconded.
Yes, thank you for prompting. I suppose, yes, we should always be doing that. Let's go to the next section, 48. New policies. We have never previously, it appears, had a home workers risk assessment. Councillor Turner has prepared a draft. She circulated it to the HR group and has received some feedback, and it will be slightly amended. The draft is an improvement over the standard, and obviously that relates to the clerk's ability to work at home, and the appropriate actions are in place. So it should have formality, and we should have that in place for next meeting.
So are we deferring this to
We
next?
are. It's a long way of saying thank you, Claire. Deferring until the next meeting. Yes, thank you very much. Item 49 is highways, grass cutting. So we've got a new contractor for the grass cutting, who produces a decent report, which has pictures to show what he's done and when, etc. Couple of points that are coming out is that there's a couple of areas that were missed in the May cuts, and there was some discussion about the overhanging branches down Church Lane footpath.
So I think
So
the
we've
May
inspected
cut, the May cut was all complete.
It
was
was.
the April cut. There were a couple of areas missed. One of them was they made a mistake. The other one was that the map was not consistent.
Dan
various
sorted
reasons.
that, hasn't he?
I'm in the process of sorting
Oh,
it.
sorry.
It's all right. And there were some comments about low-hanging branches. I think they were catching their equipment
Yes.
on
So
low-hanging branches. And Leslie has sent out a footpath group report saying that she's inspected and
yes, we did that together, and
twiggy stuff.
well,
So
there's a
snippable.
couple of places where, in particular, anybody's 6 foot. I mean, I can walk underneath it without eye damage, but anybody 6 foot would literally, where the branches are coming over, they've got brambles in them as well.
Mhm.
So it's not just a whack in the face with a bit of foliage. It's
Yep.
could cause damage. Scott and I are going to take a walk down. It is literally the new growth of trees. It's not anywhere there's a nesting bird or anything like that. We will take the wheelbarrow, the long loppers and the secateurs, and we will cut back and cart it home and stick it in the green bin.
Sounds like we have an action plan.
We have.
Great, thank you very
Excellent.
much to you and
Scott.
We call it marital bonding. We have to do things together sometimes.
Just before you do that, who owns the trees?
They are various houses.
Is it the same argument as cutting a neighbour's tree? You have to give them back the cuttings if they request. Is that worth considering?
I think it's slightly different because it's
Not probably.
strictly, because it's a footpath, it's highways, and they don't do that. So we can do it.
So how about in the minutes we publish that the intent is that we trim back on behalf of the village, and if there are any objections from
But the footpath group don't do that, and we are part of the footpath group. We are 2 members of the footpath group who are just simply making things so it's safe on the public footpath. If there was a style, we would also address that.
so I'm just thinking if we publish before you actually go and snip, And just say if there are any objections or you want the foliage back, please tell us in
No,
advance.
the footpath group don't do that. Generally, for every footpath
Okay.
in the parish that they walk and tidy brambles back so that
Or
people
perhaps
can walk
as a-
safely.
Matter of just good community spirit is to knock on the door and tell them what we're doing?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. Well, it's a volunteer.
No, generally when the footpath group go out and walk the footpaths and they cut them back,
Yeah.
it's because we're not talking about trimming somebody's hedge for
No.
them. We
No.
are literally, there are a few branches here and there that need the new growths just snipping back. It wasn't, and normally Daniel does it, or
Yes.
Daniel Green Button
Yes.
did it
Yes.
under the while he was there mowing.
Yes.
But obviously contractors changed, it hasn't been done, so we're just going to make safe. That's all.
Okay.
Otherwise we would have to knock on every door in the high street, because there'll
Yes.
be a snip here and a snip there, all the way down the path.
Okay. Thank you. Two other points under grass cutting, unless there's got any.
I wasn't quite
No?
sure what the to consider when cutting will take place meant.
I think that was for really where there would be concern if you were hedge trimming about nesting birds and sticking to the 1st of March to the 1st of October avoidance. This is not that, it is literally a willow tree with dangling
Yeah,
bits.
so no, I think it's the subsequent point in the minutes.
Oh, sorry.
So I didn't quite understand what that point was saying. So publishing the map, yes, and it's on my action list. I'm not quite sure what the consider when
sorry.
cutting will take
So
place is.
this is to ensure that the community know what days cutting is going to take place.
So publish a
Mowing, you mean?
Mowing,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. That's my clumsiness because it was my proposal to put in there. So the mowing to take place on these days, the 3rd of the month or whatever it happens to
Okay,
be.
so
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to contact Rich and
That would be great. And then we could publish that on the website perhaps, just to inform people. So, yeah. Okay, then the next point is that we've received a contribution from Cambridge County Council of £587.76. Goodness knows how this value is actually calculated. I don't think that we know because we are asked to raise a request for it at their request and then they pay us. It doesn't cover much of the cost as it did in previous years because obviously the cost is higher since we've changed contractor.
Has it been paid?
Has
it come in?
No, we haven't. I haven't
Come.
seen it at the moment. I haven't seen it. No.
Okay.
As soon as it's received, I will advise. Yeah. Okay. 49.2 with HGV Watch. Councillor Turner isn't with us tonight. But did she provide a report? No updates. Defer. Leslie has provided an update on the Close Pass campaign relating to cyclists.
Yes. So I think the email went out to all of you about surveying the positions that she recommended
Yeah.
for the signs, and I also have an email that back from them that says about the size of the signs.
Okay.
So they're 690mm by 545mm, 3 kilos, and have channel rail fixings. They state that they've not had any issues with permissions from street lighting teams when it comes to affixing signs to street lights, but they wouldn't confirm whether they'd be suitable to put on road speed signs and repeaters. Apart from it might be too much information in one place if you were to do that, but attaching to street lights would be viable, it would
Okay.
seem. So that's the size, weight, and yes, the locations that Leslie recommended. Fox Road southbound on the Embass post before entering the cut, which is where you're going to get problems with people coming close to cyclists. Station Road northbound on the old 30 flashing sign, more visible but less distracting than using the Embass post.
So these are sent to us free of charge.
Yes,
Uh,
it's sort
we
of like a
apply
trial
for
scheme, and
X
then
number and they give us X number, do
we
they?
tell them where we want them.
Okay, and they will
provide,
fix them. Okay.
I presume so. It's pretty much a trial scheme, and then they'll decide
Okay.
if they roll it out nationally. So
They haven't put a time limit on it, it just says temporary.
Mm,
We'll just see how it goes.
yeah.
okay.
But we do need to feedback soonest on that. They wanted to know by early June, and we are in early June.
But their reply is to Leslie's email is the 5th of June, is it?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a few days. So
yeah.
do we agree to proceed with that? Actually, yes. Do we need to do a vote? I suppose we do.
And on those specific locations, would that be? Are you
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
with those
Maybe
two that have been
just
suggested?
worth checking the width of the sign on the entrance to the cut. Maybe taking
So you
people's
don't
wind
take
mirrors off.
cyclists, or
Mm.
or
Taking the
cyclists.
cyclists
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
The size again was
690 by 540.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's that about the A3 size?
It's,
Mm.
well,
Well,
it's 2.5 foot wide.
that's quite a. It's sort of up. It's
It's in the
it's off
hedge.
the road, isn't it? So
Yeah, so
that
I
should be-
don't know how far from the road it is. I'm just sort of envisaging that it's quite close to
Because
the edge.
it's
'Cause it's not in
If
the
I
hedge.
remember right, it's quite a steep bit of bank there, and it's on top of the bank, so it should be okay.
Let's request them and let's see where we can fix them safely, obviously. Yeah.
If we get the sign, that it's not going to go. It's not going to go.
Yes.
You can always return.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay, so a proposer put to agree? Yes,
Fine.
thank you, Chris. Thank you, Claire. All agreed? Great. And thank you, Leslie, for sorting that out for us. 49.4, we've received the information which Ian shared with us about the 7-week closure. And we've discussed hopefully that we can get something published as quickly as possible. 49.5 Church Road. So it's closed between 9:30 and 3:30 on the 8th and the 9th of July for BT planned works. There's nothing really more to say, I don't think. It's it is what it is. But there's to note that the Parish Council have corresponded with Cambridgeshire County Council, have requested appropriate pedestrian access is maintained and consideration of alternative parking, access for school transport, which should be outside of the boundaries.
It
But
should
farmers
be, but if they were
access and yeah, we strict adherence to the times would suggest it would be okay for schools, but not necessarily. So, what was their reply?
So I know that they've acknowledged it. That's as far as we've
Brilliant,
got.
but they haven't
They
replied.
haven't responded to me. on
Okay,
it,
so
but
we've
they
got a
should be
few
considering
weeks. So, if we could follow that up,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and we'll advise the community accordingly. Councillor reports. 50.1 report has been provided by Leslie regarding the footpath group working party.
Yeah. Did I say
I-
it? I think I said it. I can
I
read it
said
out
it.
if you would like me to.
Would you mind?
No, that's fine. The full group have yet to undertake any longer walks, weather permitting. We hope to do so soon. In the meantime, on the 1st of June, one of our volunteers kindly cleared and tidied all overhanging freshly grown vegetation around all the gates leading to footpaths in and around Church Field, of which we are most grateful for. We have surveyed the overhanging tree branches, as identified on the 29th of May by the grass cutting contractor, along the public footpath known as Church Lane. Some twiggy branches are hanging rather low and can be trimmed back with the use of hand tools. This group is happy to do so. It is not an onerous job, so a couple of the volunteers will aim to do so within the next couple of weeks.
Great, which picks up on your point as well. 50.2 MVAS, so the speed camera, for want of a better term. We've discussed this previously about analysing the data in greater detail, and it's carried forward again. Trees and hedges, 50.3, no update regarding the felling activity at junction 16 of the A14. Chris, 50.4, your ongoing challenge, battle, email exchange regarding winter gritting. Are we going to be prepared when the cold arrives?
I'm determined we are, yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely. I am determined.
Right.
I've had a conversation with Ian this evening Councillor Gardner, forgive me. The new highways officer is undergoing training, having recently started. Ian's got to meet, Councillor Gardner's got a meeting with him on either tomorrow or the day after, and I've asked him to try and organise a face-to-face meeting, because we need to start building a relationship up. There's numerous highways points that come up over various parts of the year, potholes, gritting, access, and it would be useful to have a working relationship with the new officer, so that is my priority.
Great approach.
Before next month.
Yes, considering as last year it was very challenging for not only us but various other councils. 50.5 highways, works and issues. So is there anything in addition yourself and Councillor Turner have got to share with us?
No.
That you've already shared. Okay,
No.
great. The ongoing newness of the food waste bin collections, the little grey bins that are populating the pavements. Have we received a reply from the operations department?
Yes, apologies, and they'll be better going forward.
Right, I did notice they were here yesterday, so hopefully that we received some feedback of a positive nature. The bench 52, Ollie, the bench that you took away back in July, I think, which was damaged. There's consideration whether we can reinstate it, and a proposal that it could go on the where the salt bin is on Church Road, Station Road. So where the bus actually now stops and can be used for that, which was proposed last meeting. Where are we with the bench?
It's still in many pieces,
Okay.
and requires much work.
Right. Okay.
So I think at the time we had the conversation originally, Leslie was suggesting that Mike might be able to undertake some of the work on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so the high level consideration is, do we try and reinstate the existing bench, or do we buy a new one to replace it? Specifically on the damaged bench, I've managed to get hold of a replacement forged part to replace the bit that was broken. So we have components, but the bench needs to be rebuilt, and it's in a bit of a state. It hasn't been maintained for decades.
So economically, it may not be worth doing.
Or is it
But
labour that's the main thing?
It's labour costs.
Yeah.
That'll be the main thing, and the cost of components
Benches are
is
600
low.
to 800 quid for a decent one.
Yeah.
Well, and quite possibly, I think I've searched out a load, and you can pay thousands for
Oh,
them.
you can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it depends
Yeah.
what we'd like to do. My suggestion is, if we can get enough volunteer labour, that we rebuild this one, because there's no reason not to. Question on placing it on the junction between Church Road and Station Road is who owns that bit of land, whether that's Highways, because that was recently resurfaced. and
Highways,
stuff.
because it's
Highways.
pavement. The only thing I
Absolutely.
would question though is that it's not flat,
Yes. I
whereas
agree,
where
yeah.
the bench goes, it is flat.
It was
Yeah.
flat, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, was it on paving?
It was on 6 concrete blocks,
Yes,
buried in
Mm.
6 concrete blocks.
it's robust.
Yes.
Almost.
Whereas
Wasn't
the pavement's quite steep, isn't it?
There's
It is,
a
yes.
So,
notice.
so would that actually, would it be safe? You know?
And would we need Highways consent to do anything there?
Yeah,
So
whereas
I think
putting it
there's a
back
few-
where it was,
Yeah.
the mums can still sit on it, they can still see when the bus comes.
So let's find out how much it will cost. Just as a
So I did send
Yeah.
out an email, so
Yeah.
forgive me, I'll
Say
have
mums,
to pull
that
it
was
back out.
sexist.
yeah.
Parents.
And
Parents,
grandparents.
yes, Claire.
And
parents.
grandparents.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it was donated by Catworth WI in 1951 or something.
When it was
It
a
may
bus
have
stop.
been, yeah, when it was a bus stop.
Mm.
Anyway, let's revisit and sorry to use the word again. Let's defer because it's not immediate priority, but it's something to consider. Okay, item 53, drainage management. To discuss drainage concerns within the parish and agree necessary actions. Sorry, yes,
just stepping
let's
back
go
quickly.
back.
So I sent an email to everyone on the 10th of November
Yes.
with a summary of costs. I'm happy to resend it to everyone if they would like, or then go back and search the emails. What's your preference?
And if you could just ping it on to everybody, just so that as it's easier to remember.
Thank you.
53 drainage management. So Councillor Turner circulated a report regarding flooding due to the drains, obviously, and there were some incidences outside Rose Cottage which has been reported. So as we know, there's some real problems with the drains in certain parts of the village where they're just full of silt, etc. So we really need to try and improve that going forward. So I don't have anything else to really add. Janine's report was pretty comprehensive. It's about encouraging people, if when they see it, is to report it, and we can't report as much as possible. Yes, Chris?
Did I see a proposal to instigate a flood group?
Well, you're probably right, but is it more of a drainage group?
That's the point.
Is probably more appropriate.
Because we haven't got any open brooks or
No.
large bodies of water that are likely to overtop and flood.
Well, you've got one.
Well, down by
Go down Brook End.
Brook End occasionally does, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, that's because it backs up.
It's mainly because drains block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a loss of silt goes down
Yeah.
Brook End, and it all just blocks the drains all the way down.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily think we need a flood group
No.
per se if it's predominantly drains maintenance.
But with your new contact regarding the winter gritting, maybe this new person is also could be a way in to help us with how to manage our drains better.
Good point. Yeah.
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 So
I think so. I think it
yeah.
comes under highways.
Probably does. I don't know. I'm guessing.
I don't know how much of our stormwater goes into the Anglia sewage system, because I don't know if you've noticed they pump out almost every day at some time of year. So the sewage farm just opposite the pub, they had 4 vans there this morning.
Mm.
So we know that the sewers in this village are not great. Trying to run sewage uphill is never a brilliant idea.
Okay, move on to the next item. The planters near the old bus shelter are looking rather tired and they are heavily overgrown with weeds. I don't know how historically these beautiful plants suddenly appeared overnight, but
So historically it was Anthony Button,
I assumed it was.
yes,
Yeah.
who always volunteered year in, year out to do the planters
Yeah.
out by the bus stop. At the other end of the village, it was opposite the pub. A couple of planters there, I think that was Ken and
Okay.
Kane who always did those. I imagine with Buttons, with the domestic situation at the moment, it's possibly not happening.
Okay.
So
They just need a little bit of a tidying up as a minimum, and probably a bit of repair, but let's see if we can deal with that as a volunteer one Saturday morning. But let's defer that. It's to note it.
time of year, it's a bit time sensitive. I'll send Scott.
Well, thank you for volunteering again the services of your good husband.
He loves a project.
Great.
He's got nothing to do with War Memorial now, has he, except look at it.
Okay, lovely.
There is a member of the public that has suggested that they would like to contribute towards the order of the planters. Not replace the planters, but
Yeah.
perhaps provide
Plant them.
plants for them.
Oh, fantastic.
So they can't offer manpower,
Yes.
but they would like to contribute in some way. So I will go back and have a conversation
Great.
with that member of the
Thank
public.
you.
Would you let me know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who it is.
Okay.
But then we'll know. So if in the first instance we do weed clearance and possibly, because they're wooden half barrels, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they want to have a check, and Scott will probably couponol them on the outside or something. he could do that, and then as far as planting goes, if you let us know what is wanted.
Yes, absolutely.
And then perhaps what we should do is have an action point for next, I don't know, February or March to plan, so they get onto the village clean tidy up or something, and they get planted with potentially some funds from the council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, we ought to ask Anthony if he wanted to this year, or whether it's appropriate that he skips. I would hesitate to just assume that he's not doing them.
Yes. Yeah. He's clearly done it in the past, and thank you for that, and we don't want to exclude.
Or
Okay.
step on toes.
Indeed. Thank you both. 55 social media presence to consider and agree to use a Facebook page rather than a Facebook profile for Parish Council Communications. Victoria, this was your recommendation from last month. Could you give us an update on anything?
There's no real update. I'm
Yeah.
happy to set it up if everyone's happy to have it to set up.
Okay, and what did we agree last month? That we would probably defer it to this
That we
meeting?
defer it to the next
Great.
one, yes,
So can we make a decision then?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a proposer that we're happy for the clerk to invest the time to do that, and then proceed rather than having a Facebook profile? Or do we have it
I mean,
in addition?
we can maintain the profile.
Yeah.
So when we're posting to things like the Catworth group or the Kimbolm group or whatever, that we can.
Okay.
But in terms of people engaging with the council page is
Yeah.
definitely the way you want to go.
Okay, and there's no cost to that? No, it's just setting it. Any objection to the proposal?
No.
Any thoughts? Thank you. Proposal that we go forward with that? Yes, Claire, Chris, all agreed? Great, thank you. Village Matters submitted by the 15th of June, so that's a few days' time. Presumably Leslie is attending to that.
Can check.
If you can check, that's great, thank you. 57 is Parish Online, which I think we've had some discussion outside and seems sensible to continue. It's
free.
also free.
Nothing to lose on that.
Nothing to lose.
I propose we sign up.
Yes, thank you. Seconded by Chris and agreed. To receive councillor's report on training. Well, I mean, we've had something since the last meeting, which was just before this meeting, so we can't really report a great deal apart.
The report is that we've completed it.
We've completed the code of conduct training, and the slides will be circulated.
But it will need to be reassessed for those members of the council who are not able to attend this evening.
Yes.
If they haven't done it online at home.
Indeed. There was at least one councillor who has done it online, and we will check. Wait, Victoria, thank you. Lengthy list of correspondence under item 59. Thanks for keeping us up to date with all of that, Victoria. 60 is councillors' questions. So important to note that no decisions can lawfully be made under this item. Business must be specified, therefore the council cannot lawfully raise matters for decision. Has anybody got anything that they want to raise?
Yes.
Thank you, Claire.
Martin's Law. There's been correspondence by email regarding Martin's Law.
Yes.
In the past, and I don't know if there are changes, but in the past it has been deemed that these are for the Village Hall Committee and the Playing Fields Committee and not the Parish Council itself. Only if and ever we were to hold a public event. But when we do so, it would either be in the Village Hall or at the Playing Fields Committee. So I'm wondering if it is something we don't
My understanding was it was when you were sort of selling tickets for a public event, and it had to go above a certain number of people, even then.
Yeah, so
200.
Yeah.
yeah, so we don't
I
actually.
just think we fall outside it.
And I feel that it actually needs to come off the agenda, really.
It's probably something we need to keep an eye on and understand.
Only if it
changes,
changes, yes.
Yeah.
But even then, it's probably for the venues themselves
I think that's
not.
a conclusion that we came to before,
Yes.
and it's been minuted to that effect as well. And we, as you say, currently we don't host anything on our own and within our capacity, because when we've done something here as a neighbourhood plan group, for example, that was here, but not under the direct of the plan.
Do we need to put something in?
Probably, yeah. Can we?
So the outcome of the discussion last time for Martin's Law turned into, well, it's much more likely that a member of the public or, you know, God forbid, one of the councillors has a medical emergency than we are to have a full-blown terrorist incident. And that's where the recommendation for the CPR course came in.
Yes.
So I wonder whether the action for next meeting is to look into rescheduling that.
That was under the village hall, wasn't it?
It
Is
was
it the
within the
village
village hall, using village hall.
I thought the village hall actually were running the training.
No.
No, was it
the
us?
village hall have the dummies because they've got the resuscians in back.
But we were
The
arranging.
training DVD, and
Yeah.
then it was somebody would need to look at the training DVD to provide the training.
Because I thought
believe.
because it was Mike that was organising it, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was
No.
Janine that was organising.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's me.
But that's another good point, is rescheduling what we need
Yes.
to do, because there was demand for the first aid training.
Do we need to put it on the agenda then for next month?
Yes, why not?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then we
that's
can-
cool.
And then
Yeah.
we can make sure that it's minuted, what actions have been taken, etc.
Great. Any other questions? I've just got one, which is the sill, which has disappeared from the agenda over recent months, and now that we've paid everything, we've just got £157 and a few pennies left over. But if we can have that as a standing item so that we don't forget about it, because there's a lot of work that's gone into establishing where we are,
Can I
etc.
propose for consideration for SIL, if
Mhm.
necessary, just been talking about the planters. They are sort of for general benefit of the village.
Yes, that's
Or the
good.
bench.
Yeah,
Or the bench.
Or the bench, yeah.
Good call.
We've got a
Pay for the keeper now.
You'll buy the paint for it and replacement wood.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay. Any other comments, questions, queries? Okay. Next meeting is the 8th of July at 7:30 in the village hall. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody for attending, online, in
Thank you.
present. Have a safe journey.